Hello, everybody. This is Geb Metatron of Gebs Wisdomtree. And how are you doing today? I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're feeling great. And if not, hopefully we can change that within the next 30 minutes of this video. Uh, what I wanted to do today was I wanted to teach you something about breathing exercises, or in the martial arts is what is referred to as Qigong exercise. Now, the exercise I want to share with you is a very simple exercise. It's an exercise that I have been doing for a long time, for like the last, I'd say for the last 40 some odd years of my practice, because before I could before I could go to a school and actually study martial arts, I began to learn what qigong exercises were. And basically what it is it's all about being able to breathe properly. When you do these exercises, it allows you to relax. It allows your mind to relax. It allows your spirit to be a lot more calm. Now, if you're the type of person where you have the hardest time to calm down even after you do a breathing exercise, then don't worry about it. It takes time to master, because being able to breathe properly is the most important thing that you can do. I mean, it doesn't mean you don't have to be a martial artist in order to do the breathing exercises. If you're a person, if you work hard every day, if you train every day, if you, anything that you're doing every day and you're under a lot of stress, doing a breathing exercise is the best way to go. And what you want to do is you want to be able to do it as early as possible if you can, or any time throughout the day that you have. You have to what you have to do is you have to be able to put in time, even if it's just for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes of doing the breathing exercises will do wonders. Now, once you're done doing the breathing exercise for about 2 or 3 minutes, if you want to, what you do is you pay very attention to how your breathing is. Now, you there might now the best way to find out whether or not if you're having a hard time breathing is just start to pay very close attention to your breathing. You have to learn to become conscious. The most important thing that you have to do is you have to learn to become conscious of your breathing. It's the only way to basically to master it. That way, when you get used to doing the breathing exercises, it'll start to take on a life of its own, and that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because what starts to happen is that when you start to pay attention, and you basically you're letting your body and your mind know that you're about paying attention to what's going on. In other words, you are allowing yourself to heal. And you're doing it through the most simple exercise that you could ever possibly use. And the exercise that I want to share with you today is the exact same exercise that I learned when I was like 13, 14 years old. Now, uh, please excuse the lighting and for the background and everything. I just want to, the way I have it set up, I want to make sure that you can see everything that I'm doing, because get ready to do now is I'm getting ready to stand up and demonstrate the exercise. Now, um, I'm going to be doing this for a total of at least 2 to 3 minutes. And if you want to, you can do it right along with me for those 2 to 3 minutes, or longer, depending, because when I do the exercise, I may do it for 2 minutes, I may do it for 5 minutes, I may do it for 10 minutes. The reason why I'm doing it in that capacity is because I want to make sure that you thoroughly understand that when you do this exercise, there really, as long as you do it correctly, there is no right or wrong way as to how you do the exercise. Okay? So now I'm getting ready to stand up and show you how the exercise is done. Now, you don't have to follow along right away. Just watch me do the exercise first, and then we'll go. And then what I'll do, I'll go further into the discussion of what it is I'm doing, and how it is I'm doing, and how long I've been doing, and how long you can do it yourself. Okay. Now, the very first thing you want to do is you want to stand up, like so, and you want to relax your shoulders. You want to relax your arms. You want to every part of your body has to be relaxed. Forgive me if you can't see my face. I mean, you know what I'm saying. We'll work through that in a second. Um, and the one thing that you want to do is, as you're breathing in, you want to raise your hands out just like this, and you want to raise them above your head. Now, once you get above your head, what you want to do is you're looking straight ahead. And what you're doing is with the palm, you see where the palms of my hands are. What you want to do is you want to bring your hands down very slowly. Now, as you're bringing your hands down very slowly, you're also breathing out. Okay, I'm gonna do that again, and this time I'm gonna do it real slow so you can see. Notice how my hands are moving. As my hands are bringing up, like I'm praising God in a sense. That's how you can see this. You can see my hands raising up as if I'm saying hello to God or praising God. Now, once my hands are above my head, and you see this almost like in circular motion. Once your hands get up to the top, and you immediately or slowly, I should say, I'm sorry, start to bring your hands down. Start to bring your hands down very slowly. You with your palms facing the ground. Turn your hands, palms facing out like so, outward. Bring them up, breathing in, taking in as much air as you can. And once your hands get up to the top, above your head, or slightly above your head, bring your hands down. Bring them down slowly. And what you're doing is you're breathing out. Now, I'm going to stop talking for a couple of minutes here, and I'm going to go through it for at least, for a minute or so. Okay, I want this to be a good tutorial. Now, watch how I do it. Okay, now, that's basically how it's done. Now, I don't know if you've noticed a difference, but my voice is a lot calmer. My breathing is a lot calmer. My body is a lot calmer. And the way you want to stand when you're doing these exercises is you want to do it with your feet shoulder width apart. And it doesn't matter if you're short, tall, wide, slender, it doesn't matter. You always want to be able to stand with your feet shoulder width apart. And what you do is you slightly bend all the joints that's in your legs, from your ankles, your knees, and to your hips. You wanna put a slight bend in them, and what it should feel like is it should feel like you sitting down, because what you're doing is with the lower part of your spine, the base of your spine, you want to be able to tuck it under with the base of your spine. You want to tuck it under your body. So initially, what you're doing is you're straightening, just like how. Excuse me, this don't look like I can really show. Um, if you notice how my buttocks here, notice how it's kind of sticking out a little bit. Well, the way, like I said, the way you want to be able to stand is you want to be able to stand shoulder width apart, with your ankles, knees, and your hips slightly bent. And what you want to do is at your hips, you want to tuck your tailbone under your body. And it should feel like all the pressure is going towards your thighs. Now, that's what you want. You want to be able to take all the pressure off of the rest of your spine, therefore taking the pressure off the rest of your body. Now, the way to basically do it is very simple. Anybody can do it. And when this is how, like I said, now this is how it looks from the side view. Okay. Now, this is basically how it's going to look from the frontal view. And obviously, this is basically how it looks. Obviously, from the front view. Now, I'm going to go through another exercise for you. I'm gonna just to make sure that you, if there's anything that you may have missed, anything that you want to see, if you need to see me to do it again, best basically I'm gonna do it again, and you can just basically watch me again as you did before. Now, like I said, stand with your feet shoulder width apart, slightly bend your knees, slightly bend your ankles, and at your hip. I know it said to bend, but at your hips, tuck your tailbone under your body. Like basically what you're doing is that you're squeezing. Excuse me for saying this, but what it should feel like you should feel like you're squeezing your butt cheeks in, but don't squeeze your butt cheeks. Just tuck your tailbone under your body, okay? And if it feels uncomfortable, then it should feel uncomfortable because that's how you know you're doing it right, okay? So and I'm going to go further into the discussion once I'm done showing you the exercise again. I just want to make sure that you get it right, that you understand, that you get a base understanding of what breathing exercises are. But this time what I'm going to do is, instead of coming out like so, I'm going to reverse the motion, meaning I'm going to come up like this from the inside of my center line, and the same spot that I was in when I came out and up is the same thing I'm going to do is going in and out, which means this is basically how I'm going to go straight into it. So this is basically how it's going to look reversed. And what you do, you turn your palms inward, facing the ground, and what you start to do is just like you did from the top down, you do from the bottom up. Now, as your hands are coming up, you breathe in. Don't forget to breathe in as your hands are coming up. Now, once your hands are at the top, you want to separate them and bring them down in a circular motion, and opening them up wide, like you're opening up like a flower, like you're blossoming like a flower. One more time. Now this time I'm gonna keep quiet, so at least this way you can focus on what I'm doing. I'm gonna do this a series 3 more times. Okay. I mean, forgive me if if my discussion on it is kind of choppy. I'll clean it up later. Okay. Here we go. that's basically it. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the discussion of as to why I did or how why and how as well as why I did the exercise in the way that I did. What it does is on the spiritual tip in the spiritual way, it helps to open up all the chakras within the body. Now, the discussion on the chakras is going to come later in another video. Okay, right now I want to focus on the breathing. It's it's very important to not just simply know how to breathe, but it's very important to become conscious of your breathing. The reason why you want to become conscious of your breathing is because all the stresses in life, if you don't know how to pay attention to them, all the stresses in life have will start to build up within the body because it's been discovered that the various organs that you have in your body, all the all your lungs, your heart, your kidneys, all every organ in your body can hold stress. And you want to actually you liken it to pouring water inside of a glass. You know, you look at your body as a glass, and you look at water as stress, or I should say, in this case, to be a little bit more accurate, think of it as dirty water. Think of stress as just unclean water, just dirty water. Water that's being poured into your body anytime you go to work, anytime you go to school, anytime you're doing things that are considered a high stress occupation, or a high stress recreation. What you want to do is you want to set aside time, a few minutes, either once a day or, like, say for instance, throughout the week. You want to be able to do this. If you're a beginner, you want to be able to do this at least once a week, at least. The reason why I say once a week is because if you try to do it more than, and not saying that you can't, but it's very important that when you become conscious of your breathing, the best way to do it is to visualize yourself when you're doing the breathing exercises. It's important to visualize yourself doing the breathing exercises. The reason why you want to visualize yourself doing the breathing exercises is that you can begin to find out very easily how much air your body is taking in. Now, that's probably you're probably thinking, well, that's kind of strange. You know what I'm saying? Why would I want to do that? Why would I, if I'm doing the breathing exercises, why do I want to visualize myself doing the breathing exercises? Well, that's what the ascended masters, or I should say, mainly the qigong masters and the qigong teachers. That's what they recommend that you do. I mean, the reason why you want to visualize, you want to be able to you want to visualize yourself doing these breathing exercises is because you want to be calm within yourself as well as outside of yourself. Now, on the outside, in some cases, it may not seem like you're calm or relaxed on the outside, but you're just as relaxed and calm on the inside, which is the reason why it's so important that when, like I said, when you do your breathing exercises, you see yourself, you visualize you see yourself in your mind. You see yourself in your mind doing the breathing exercises. Now, what's going to happen is what you want to do is when you start to get good at becoming conscious, what starts to happen is that when you go into the breathing will the exercise itself it'll start to take on a life of its own. And basically that's what you want to do, because see, this is something that you're doing good for your spirit, something that's something that's good for the soul. You want to be able to relax. You want to be able to have a clear focus. You want to be able to to concentrate on any subject or any recreation that you're doing. Okay, it's very important to relax. I mean, there's no simpler way of being able to put that. And what the benefits? I mean, the benefits of doing these breathing exercises is that uh, with the focusing and the concentration, and with being able to clear your mind, you can begin to see you start to take in and you start to take in inventory of all the other characteristics that you have, within yourself, within your personality. Like, say for instance, with your faith. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to doing the breathing exercises, it's like you're putting your faith in what you're doing. I mean, don't worry about it not working when you first start to do it. What you want to do is you want to stick to doing the exercises. And that's why with the exercises themselves that I showed you, I showed you something simple. That was something that I had learned when I was 13 years old. And when I first did that exercise, I did start to notice a difference with my attitude, with my personality, with my ability to be able to focus and concentrate. And because as a kid, I was one of those kids, that grew up having a temper like everybody, like every other black man or young black man here in America. I mean, when you go through your struggles in life as a teenager, you know what I'm saying, you develop an attitude, you develop anger management issues. You know what I'm saying? You start to become depressed. I mean, you start to suffer from severe depression. You know what I'm saying? And as a kid, when I saw that I was suffering from these things, I wanted help, but I didn't want anybody to know what it was I was going through. I wanted to get help without asking for help. And I honestly, I think that when getting into martial arts like I did, it was a blessing to learn how to do the breathing exercises, because I learned about the breathing exercises from the magazines that I had bought. You know what I'm saying? Like Inside Kung Fu, Inside Karate, all the magazines that are out nowadays. That's been around for like the last 20 some odd years now. You see what I'm saying? And if you happen to be a teenager or a young adult, or a kid who's watching this video, if you can't if you can't go to a school, and if you're the kid that suffers from anger management like I did, and you come to the realization that studying martial arts or studying various faiths is going to help you, then the very first thing I suggest that you learn how to do is to learn to do the breathing exercises and learn to master them. I mean, don't if you're the type of person where you're impatient, then take that time to learn what patience is. Take that time to learn what it means to be patient, because we can learn to be calm, we can learn to be relaxed, but being patient is the toughest lesson to learn. And what you want to do is you want to take on the challenge of learning how to be patient. You see, you want to take on the challenge of learning how it means to be calm in the face of adversity. You know what I'm saying? I mean, doing these breathing exercises is just basically you're learning half the battle of knowing how to handle stress. You know what I'm saying? Knowing how to handle the chaotic situations in your life. Now, like I said, if this is your first time learning, don't trip. Uh, don't get your underwears in a bunch. You know what I'm saying? Take your time. If I'm saying something that someone else is saying, please pay attention. If it's resonating with you, please pay attention to that. It's what it's doing is it's telling you to never quit, never give up. And if you start to have trouble doing the breathing exercises when you're out in the open, because the best place to do the breathing exercises is out in the park, outside, where there's a lot of fresh air, where there's a lot of sun, where there's a lot of air that's circulating around. And you what you want to do is, with the breathing exercises, you pay attention to the characteristics of air, and you think about it. You can't touch it, but yet you can't live without it. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like with water. Your breathing should flow like water. When you're breathing in, air, breathe in, when you're breathing in air, when you're taking in a lot of air, visualize the air coming into your body, going all the way down to what is referred to as your sacral chakra, or down to your stomach chakra, or your tan. And what you're doing is, when you breathe in, when you breathe in through your nose and out your mouth. Now, it's going to be real subtle how you do it. And if you're wondering, should you breathe hard, or should you be breathing fast, or should you be breathing slow? No, you should be breathing normally. And which is the reason why you need to be conscious and aware of your breathing. Now, like I said, when you're breathing in air, breathe in through your nose and out your mouth. And you basically what you this is basically how it's going to look. I've already showed you the exercise, but I'm going to illustrate to you right now how it looks, how it should look. Now, if you could hear it, the first noise that you heard was the air going through my nose. The second noise that you heard was the air of me pushing the air out. Now, that's basically it. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to go back to the beginning of the video, and I want you to, like I said, pay very close attention to the subtle details as to what I do. Like I said, it's a simple exercise. Uh, it only takes a couple of minutes a day, or a couple of minutes through either once a week, or twice a week, or even 3 times a week. But thing of it is, when you start to feel yourself getting good at doing the breathing exercises, like, there may be a day where you don't feel like doing it. Or if you don't feel like doing it that day, then you don't have to do it. It's as simple as that. Because I don't want you to feel like, whenever you see me do these exercises, or when you watching me, don't feel as though I'm being strict with you. I mean, yeah, I'm being strict, but I don't want you to feel like, well, okay, I have to do it this way. No, the objective is that once you get the breathing exercises down, you can always change up the exercise. Learn to be more open-minded. Learn to be more open-hearted. Learn to have a better, a more positive disposition, because that's what this exercise is going to do. It's going to help you have a better disposition. I mean, it's only just it's scratching the surface of what you're beginning to do concerning your life. Okay, that's basically it for today. If you have any comments, if you have any questions about what I did, um, please feel free to ask. Please feel free to leave a comment. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. It doesn't matter. I hope you don't give me a thumbs down, because, like I say, this is my second video, and I want to make this about you, the individual viewers, the individual listeners. You see what I'm saying? Um, have a nice day. Have a lovely day. Have a blessed day. And I'll see you soon.